So we watched Companion. So we try not to watch like the newest trailer to this. To keep us from knowing too much, because the first trailer was just so
it's really
interesting,
engaging.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I saw the poster and it kind of spoiled a little bit. So there's going to be minor spoilers. We're not going to talk about the ending, but basically, it's kind of like a murder heist movie where they try to blame the robot girlfriend, and she's basically fighting for her life, which I think is shows in like the first or the second trailer that we didn't watch. It kind of gave a lot of that away. But yeah, it's from the producers of Barbarian, which I thought it was the director, but it's not the same director. But yeah, I thought it was okay. We watched this on the A-list thing. We weren't sure what we were going to watch until like a few minutes beforehand, and then I saw online that it was going to be Companion. It could have been Hard Eyes. It could have been The Monkey. It could have been a lot of things.
Could have been The Monkey?
Well, The Monkey's a little far off for this kind of thing, but it comes out later this week. But yeah, what are your general thoughts on Companion?
I really like it. It's a very light story, but it's actually pretty bloody. So you can't really say it's light, but I think it's light. And I think the reason why I feel light is because they have like funny bits in there.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed, and that's with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys are from like a comedy troupe called The Whitest Kids You Know. So they're basically from a comedy background. So this is, I mean, like I said, we didn't watch the second trailer. We just watched the original teaser.
Yeah.
It was much more a comedy than I was expecting.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like if you watch the first teaser, you would have thought this is a story about a creepy guy, like, and him with, torturing his girlfriend, or like, or even like his robot girlfriend. You would think that was what it was, but it turns out to be completely different from that, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like a murder heist movie. Like it's very much that, and I think I was a little bit disappointed with that, honestly. That it was kind of like, it was just, they were wanting to kill this dude, take his money, and then blame the death on the robot girlfriend, right?
That was a completely different story than the teaser.
Yeah, like I was expecting something a little bit darker. I mean, okay, we don't get much comedies in theaters anymore. Okay, I mean, this is the kind of comedy we get in the theater now. If it's kind of like a little bit of horror or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a completely different story and like 50 Shades darker than that. But like, this is fine. I am fine with this. It's a story that you least expect, and maybe you think it's a little bit too simple or too cliche. Like, I still think the acting was good.
Yeah, that's very good.
The dialogue is pretty clever too. A lot of the plot was very clever, I think.
Yeah, well, we should say Sophie Thatcher plays Iris, who's the robot girlfriend. We see her in a lot of things now.
Yeah.
She seems like the one from Yellow Jackets that's getting like a lot of the jobs.
And I did stare at her on screen today. I'm like, yeah, if anybody's gonna be a synthetic like robot perfect girl, yeah, she does look like a doll.
And she's always wearing those like 1950s style hipster clothes, where it's got like the band hair.
Yeah,
like
it really fits her.
Yeah,
for some reason.
And then Jack Quaid, who's from The Boys. Yeah, he is okay. I mean, he's basically Jack Quaid. He basically plays the same role, it seems, even though he's kind of like more of a jerk than Huey from The Boys. And Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows. I was really surprised to see him in this, but yeah, I really liked him too.
Not too surprising, but when I see him, it just kind of like make me want to laugh because of his character in there. So it's like, okay, he's a different character here.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that with a little bit of like, no, I watch a lot of these sci-fi shows, like, you know, a robot who has human feelings, but it's kind of like Blade Runner almost.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you haven't watched Blade Runner yet. But I'm just saying it's a lot like that. I just don't think it goes very deep in it. I think
No.
it's got like shades of like abusive relationships and people who, you know, still love the person who's abusing them or whatever. But I felt like the story about Raina's course about halfway through for me. But did it keep you engaged though?
Yeah, I was engaged the whole time. I mean,
Yeah.
this is my type of movie. Like, not everything has to be super deep, right? And or like super dark. And obviously, you can interpret like this movie into a whole different level, right?
Yeah.
With love or whatever, freaking brainwash, manipulation, toxic relationship. But like to me, it's just a robot girlfriend, like, gone wild and you know, revenge type of shit, and it's actually pretty fun to watch. Her acting's good.
It was entertaining.
I've always loved her acting.
Yeah, she's great in about everything.
Yeah,
Sophie Thatcher. So
it really is. I think for this one, I mean, it's in the teaser, so when her hand was like on fire,
yeah,
and the way it just zooming on her face and that tear, just there's fear and that teardrop, that I think this is a very iconic scene.
Yeah, I think the teaser is kind of like what hyped me up for it, and then
They did a good job, didn't they?
Yeah, and I was expecting something like Strange Darling, something like mind-blowing like that, but it wasn't. I mean, it's not on that level for me.
No.
Yeah, you got anything else to say about it? I mean, I liked it okay, and I think it's a solid movie to rent, but I wouldn't rush out to see it. But
I would definitely see it.
Yeah,
like,
in the theater.
Yeah, like it's all about expectations, right? If you are expecting something like very sophisticated, like Strange Darling, or like a story like that, or
maybe
deeper message like that.
It was expectations for me, but I also think it leaned a little too heavy into the comedy of it.
Which I love. I think this is what makes it kind of like brand, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it. I'll just say that. Like, okay. I really liked it. I didn't love it like I was expecting to. But yeah, what's your final rating and overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts, I think this is a very, very simple story. There are twists in there that you don't expect, but it's not like, you know, something that's too crazy. It's just, the whole thing is, it's kind of light, and you're gonna have multiple laughs throughout. And I think that's all. If a movie can give you laughs and still does some of the very good acting and some, you know, cool murder scene, I think that does it all for me. So this is like a 4 out of 5 for me. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna say, oh, I absolutely love this movie, best movie of the year. It's definitely not that, but it's a fun movie to watch.
Better than Wolfman?
It's way better than Wolfman. I'm sorry.
that's our first 2025 movie. So this is our second.
I want to say it's 1,000 times better than the Wolfman.
Yeah, I like I said, I liked it. I didn't love it, so I'll go like 3.5. I think it kind of leaned a little too hard into the comedy stuff in it, even though I kind of laughed out loud at one part of it. But
it's very funny.
When he shot the gun, he's like, my fucking ears. But yeah, I mean, it's good performances, unique premise, I guess. I mean, it's kind of like they mishmashed like Blade Runner with some fucking like murder heist movie, you know, but with a little sprinkle of comedy in it. So I wasn't like overly impressed or anything, but I still was really entertained with it.
It's a very entertaining movie. I want to say. I'm not sure like if it's really tried to reach to, you know, the deepest of your heart or anything, but it is very entertaining.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you.
It's me.
Well, that's our review of Companion. if you watched it, let us know down in the comments what you thought. Make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon, and we'll see you later.